Fox News. Breaking news.
Capitol Hill just got a reality check, and Robert F. Kennedy Jr. delivered it straight to the faces of Democrats who thought they could steamroll him. What started as another made-for-camera hearing turned into a public unraveling for the same political class that loves big accusations, talking points, and farmer-friendly outrage. They tried to pin rising measles cases on him. Oh, he fired back with facts. They accused him of spreading misinformation. He demanded an example. They couldn't do it. When Kennedy started getting too close to the money trail, they did what panicked politicians always do. They tried to cut him off. But the worst part for Democrats, oh, it was still to come. This matters because the fight you watch was not really about one cabinet secretary. It's about whether the American people are allowed to ask questions without being smeared and silenced or bullied by the same broken establishment that failed this country for years. Under President Trump, voters demanded a government that serves citizens, not lobbyists, not media activists, and not entrenched bureaucrats protecting their own power. That's exactly why this showdown hit such a nerve. When Democrats scream misinformation but can't name a single false statement, they're not defending science. They're defending control. When they ignore real issues like public health transparency, drug injuries, and agency accountability, they send a message to every family watching. Your concerns don't matter unless they fit the approved script. When they attack RFK Jr. with mockery instead of facts, it reveals something much bigger. They're afraid of open debate. They're afraid of scrutiny, and they're afraid that the Trump administration is exposing just how deeply the health bureaucracy has been captured. Before I show you how Democrats switch from facts to insults, let me share something personal that ties directly why health freedom matters. Very personal. You see, for years, my wife battled chronic pain and anxiety from her diagnosis. Endless doctor's visits, treatments that didn't help. Watching her struggle daily broke my heart. And then Jonathan Otto introduced red light therapy to our family. And through red light therapy, her pain vanished, anxiety lifted, and she's sleeping soundly, full of energy and life again. My recovery and vitality, better guys than half my age. It's been life-changing for us. It's backed by NASA research, it's FDA cleared, and studies show rapid pain relief and real recovery support. If you want to check it out, go to myredlight.com, use code NNN25 for 25% off individual items or NNN30 for 30% off bundles. Take control of your health with something that actually helped our family in a big way. And now, while solutions like that help real Americans, what Democrats did next in this hearing showed exactly where their priorities are. Because once RFK Jr. dismantled the measles narrative, the hearing got even uglier. One senator accused him of spreading misinformation, and Kennedy did something almost no one in Washington ever does. He asks for specifics. Name one thing, just one. He couldn't do it. Kennedy turned up the heat even more by going after Congressman Frank Pallone, accusing him of abandoning vaccine-injured families after Big Pharma got its hooks into Washington. And that's when the room changed. It stopped being oversight and started looking more like damage control. Here's the moment. RFK Jr. demolishing a Democrat senator who accused him of misinformation. This is solid gold right here.
Countering misinformation about measles and the MMR.
Tell me one piece of misinformation I've ever said. One statement, just one.
If I could continue, Mr.
You say you have a list of them. Read one.
Tailoring outreach to communities with declining vaccination rates as well. Measuring whether those campaigns are working.
You're just making things up, Senator. You're just inventing stuff. Tell me
Mr.
one
Secretary,
piece of
what
it. You
I'm
say
asking-
you have a whole list there. Read me one thing I've ever said.
Mr. Secretary, if you want to run for the United States Senate and get on the dais here, you're happy to do it. You should resign from the HHS today and run for office. And you can be in here, you can ask anyone all the questions you want, Mr. Secretary. I'm asking you some questions. What I just gave you wasn't
You're
even...
not asking questions.
Mr.
You're just
Secretary,
making statements that are incorrect.
Let me ask you a question.
Who's spreading misinformation, right? He didn't let him smear him with the usual talking points, demanded actual example. Now watch what happens when Kennedy starts calling Congressman Frank Pallone for flipping after Big Pharma got its hooks. Democrat abruptly cuts RFK Jr. off the moment he starts exposing how he was bought off by Big Pharma.
Know what Trump's reckless, illegal war with Iran is costing us right now? Do you have any idea?
Frank, I remember when you were the champion.
All right, I'm not going to get
House.
into it because you're not going to answer the question. As of April 10th,
Well, you
the
said some
American
things about my
enterprise-
family
as-
I'd like to
excuse
reply
me,
to.
I'm cutting you off because you won't answer the question.
but I was with Congressman Pallone in the early 2000s when he was the champion in this body for people who had vaccine injuries. And suddenly he did a 180 when the pharmaceutical industry of New Jersey turned him around. And that was a template.
Now he's in.
Oh, and you know you were. And he has never said a word about it since. And the mothers
Madam Chair.
have not been able to get into his door.
Madam Chair. All right.
Right to his face, calling him out. After putting Pallone on the spot over pharma money, keeps the pressure on Democrats. RFK Jr. shuts down Democrat Troy Carter.
Making the system more efficient, and I'm putting more money into it than any other HHS secretary in history. Not only that, we're putting $49 million into opioid response and putting $100 million into sober housing.
I got 2 seconds. Respectfully, you know what I really wish you'd spend more time on? More time thinking about the American people, less time talking about whale heads, bear heads, and raccoon parts.
Okay.
Talking about what's important to the American people and how they can.
I don't talk about any of those things.
Okay.
You guys were all
Representative
talking
time is up.
Disgraceful. He tried the circus routine. This is the moment RFK Jr. was asked by a reporter about the allegation he cut off a dead raccoon's penis so he could study it later. And the incident was a reference to RFK's diary entry that's in the new book, RFK Jr., The Fall and Rise.
Secretary, what did you do with the raccoon's dead penis? Where is it now?
That's what they care about, right? It tells you everything about the press. Democrats are losing facts, so the media runs straight to the freak show stuff. Kenny gets back to the real fight, smacking down Senator Bennett's measles narrative with some hard numbers. Listen to this.
To close because of the Medicaid cuts, and those are real dollars.
They were closing
Mr. Kennedy,
before I came in here. Now they're not closing.
Let me just ask you, do you realize that last year the United States had the highest number of measles cases in 30 years? That the last time we had more than that was before
The whole world did.
measles.
The whole world did.
Yeah, we were the leader, Mr. Kennedy.
We still are. We have a 92% vaccination rate. We have one of the highest vaccination rates for measles on earth.
So are you taking the position, let me ask you, are you taking the position as your CDC director has taken that the measles vaccine is vital to keeping American children healthy in this country? Are you taking that position today? That has not been your position.
That's my position. We promote the measles vaccine.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. That will be, I hope you will go out to America and promote this. The idea that you have nothing to do with this.
The measles vaccine prevents measles in 97% of the people who take it. I've always said that. That's what the science says.
I would ask you to please underscore it, because there's a reason that we are having these outbreaks, Mr. Chairman, and that is the misinformation that's been propagated. If you would have a change of view, that's excellent. Let's get it out there to the American people.
Senator Lake.
Misinformation, my ass. The lies about RFK Jr. causing the measles cases keeps on falling. So here's the real headline. RFK Jr. was not on defense. He was exposing the script. Senator Bennett tried to weaponize measles numbers, and Kennedy answered that the increase was global, while reminding the room that America still has a 92% vaccination rate, one of the highest on earth. Luan waved around accusations of misinformation and then failed to produce even one example. Pallone tried to pivot to attacking President Trump over Iran, but Kennedy hit back with the point Democrats did not want aired on camera. The political class changes its tune fast when pharma money starts talking. And when policy attacks fall apart, they went for whale heads, bear heads, and raccoon penises. That tells you everything. They had noise, but he had substance. So what you saw on Capitol Hill was a perfect snapshot of the Trump era in Washington. The old establishment's losing its grip, and the people that they used to intimidate are finally punching back. RFK Jr. walked into that hearing and refused to bow to the same smear machine that spent years policing speech, protecting insiders, and treating ordinary Americans like children. Good. Because that's what accountability looks like. If Democrats had evidence, they would have used it. Instead, they used interruptions, insults, and tabloid nonsense. And America noticed. So here's my question for you. Should every official who throws around the word misinformation be forced to name one specific lie? Yes or no? Let me know in the comments. And share this report everywhere. Subscribe if you're sick of establishment propaganda. Check out the Next News merch shelf below this video and text RAW FEED to 844-840-4963 to bypass the algorithm suppression of our work and get direct messages from me to your phone. Stay loud, stay fearless, and keep fighting for the truth.
The system controls information. Information control is power.
They don't want you to see this.
The truth only survives together. They don't want this. Share this now.